Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to talk to you about Ascension symptoms and some things that you might be experiencing with this March energy and this very fast, abrupt energy that's coming through. It is no nonsense kind of energy. So I want to tell you about some things I've been experiencing as to help you understand what you may be going through. So stick around. I've got some really interesting things to tell you about the matrix and about timeline shifts and about some other things too. So let me tell you real quick, I have just come out of an illness, I'll say, a big clearing. This has been like 10 days of a major reset for Becca. Well, during this time, I had the most interesting phenomenon happen, which I try to put the spiritual aspect and observe things from my spiritual eyes and from my higher self anytime that I can for understanding. And so as I was going through this and recovering from it, I would sit in my chair in the evenings, and this is where I sit and meditate and be mindful and do all sorts of things. I was observing, no kidding, I was observing my grid template, my DNA being recoded. Now, what I mean by that is it is as though I was in a simulation. I felt like I was in a video game, and still do to a degree. Like I was in a video game, and I'm seeing these blocks, like Tetris blocks that you might see on the game Tetris. These blocks coming in and filling in this space, these different colored rectangular shapes coming in, filling in, and these others moving out and dispersing out. So it's like I had this intuitive knowing that what was happening. I'm very, very visual, very clairvoyant when it comes to what I'm able to see. It's like, I know what I'm seeing here. I know what I'm looking at. Wow. I mean, it's incredible. And these things really do happen. And many of you may be experiencing similar ascension symptoms. But as these blocks would move in and these blocks would move out, I also had this major buzzing in my cells, this major buzzing, this vibration. And that is my human body locking in these upgrades and embodying literally these new upgrades. So the buzzing for me is always a very easy symptom to recognize, that spiritual buzz that you've heard me talk about. That buzz and vibration that goes on with the body is very common right now. And if you have that, know that it's a good thing. It's a good thing as far as these ascension symptoms go and the ascension process, that rising, that vibration coming up. It's a beautiful thing. So I was watching this recode, something else that I had happen to me during this. And I've also had this happen to me at other points in time. Timeline shifts. Timeline jumping is another thing that, another way that we refer to it. And so these different things will happen. I'm going to give you a few examples. And I'm thinking of one right now that has to do with children. A lot of parents that I know right now, their children are coming up to them and telling them stories about what it is timeline shifts, and they're jumping timelines and not understanding what it is. And they're saying, Mom, I know I put my brush on the edge of that table, for example. I know I put my brush there, and I keep going back to get it, and it's not there. And I just went back to get it, and now it's there. So it's like this, did I do it? Did I not do it? Well, I know I did it. So this can happen with many things. This can happen when you're driving. This can happen when you first wake up. I mean, it can happen at so many different levels. I'm going to tell a quick story about a friend of mine, and I'll make it short, but this is a beautiful, beautiful spiritual cosmic sister of mine. So she gets up one morning and she looks out and at her pear tree. Her pear tree is full of these beautiful pears ready to pick. Okay, so she plans the picking of these pears for the next day, invites someone over to help. And the next day, when she gets up, she looks out at the pear tree. There are no pears on the tree. There are no pears on the tree. And so it's like, what just happened? Or what? You know, it really makes you question your sanity and makes you question, what is going on with me? So that's just a couple of examples of how these timelines can shift. But if you are feeling like you're in two places at once or you're in between places, I'm really feeling that right now. Like I'm in between. And I am to a degree, because I have new downloads and new energies locking in. So that in between phase feels confusing. It can feel ungrounded. It can feel very disoriented is a huge one. You know, you just feel disoriented during this. So timeline shifts. I mean, there are a million examples I can give to you, but if you're watching this video and you're thinking, that may be what happened to me during that time, very well could be right now. Many people are experiencing this, and they're just chalking it up to, well, I must have been tired, or I wasn't thinking, or I'm overwhelmed or overstressed, or whatever it is. You may be jumping timelines, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild what you can see, feel, experience. So just know that these ascension symptoms are amping up right now, really amping up. So don't be surprised if you start to feel a lot of these different things. And just ride the wave, y'all. Ride the wave, because there is so much amazingness happening in the way of spirituality. Amazing stuff. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, a thumbs up. I would love to have you as a subscriber. It'd be awesome. But I will be back with some other videos on Ascension symptoms. It's a very popular topic. But in the meantime, I'm going to check out now, and I will see you on the next video.